Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself, Muhammad Afif Himam, name 342111, class KPIA, Faculty Fuad, UIN Abdurrahman Wahid Asim. I will present my mini journal. A. Introduce. Lack of the most effective communication tool absolute and necessary for every nation. With language, the national will not be able to develop. Like so national identity, like as part of culture can show the height and low of the nation's culture. Indonesia is no longer a native language, but is also developing. Currently, the youth everyone has been mixed with new languages that they know from mobile phone, so that it also has the potential to trigger change in adolescent behavior, especially tender are a period of transition from childhood to adulthood. And adolescence is considered to start when the child becomes sexual mature and when the child regains legal maturity, so it very supportive for changing adult behavior because of the emergence of language. Language is also a form of cultural identity. It can change the behavior of adolescents because if a new language is entered, it will also enter a new culture, so that is closely related to changes in the behavior of thinkers. The language used by it obviously referred to as interpreted into that. Adolescent language is generally a means of communication among the group during a consent period. This is because then they have their own language is expressing themselves as a language in self-function and as expression of the sense of togetherness of its shared identity by using the language of gender. They want to turn themselves as members of a different communication group from the community group, and they left again will become disturbed because it has the potential to tempt in the above if start that if you want to destroy a liquid, because a liquid is reflection of a culture not our parent around always to the question of the liquid communication but her into community publicly so sub communication, and it also able to make other regional languages become popular extent because then they prefer to communication using language than if a language become instead culture will also become extinct and self-identity will also be although it look trivial, but this is important. People take a problem like that without know the consequence of the problem. This is the same like communication if allowed to develop things that will include behavior, culture, national identity, and social strata. Based of the criticism about the problem that others into how and from of others links is better than in live in the social what factor influence the use of adolescent selects among the well of the use for B. Theoretical foundation and method. First, communication etymology. The word communication comes from the Latin communicare, which means transferry. According to the origin of the word, the meaning of communication in process or meaning for or group another dog the list of symbol, stick rules and communication function. Functional communication is carried out for various purposes of mainly to educate, entertain, inverse, and in the function press a mass media amount of communication by adding social control function. 2. Definition of link. I feel that this link determine web presenting and have not status during of will determine of during link of medium communication to link is a mirror on the person, meaning that wrong language one personality, meaning the language and your personality language language a system. B. Language as personal behavior. C. Language as a behavior. Language is a main communication between members of communication in the form of sound symbol produced by human speech. In this description above, we concluded that language is a main communication that acting a mediator. Language communication is also able to change adolescent behavior by 3. Language characteristic. Abdul Kail that this language is system in form of sound are productive, dynamic, differ, and human from its understanding. Among the characteristics of language are arbitrary, dynamic, and human. A. Language is arbitrary, meaning that relationship between a symbol and the symbol not is mandated, changing, and it not be explained why the symbol argument. B. Language is productive, that is with a limited number of elements and of speech can be met. C. Language is dynamic, meaning that language cannot be spared from variation that change or anytime that change occur on any level biological, morphological, scientific, semantic, and lexion. At any time, there may vocabulary that appear but also there in and all vocabulary that sing not again. D. Language is different even though language has certain rules of standard American but because in behavior when speaker were different background and habit, the language becomes both a phonological, morphological, syntactical level and the lexical level. A. Language is human. Language of non-verbal communication only by human. Human in control language is not static or is but by way of learning. Animal notably with human like there is said that for adolescent language, the influence of global and development often the technological impact the development and social media and of the media has an important role in language and of Indonesia thinker of interest using the language in the be used develop adult language after the generation aspiring student the campus social media Facebook SMS Twitter BBM at market the profit of sending short message. The appropriate development only used in written but also orally. Adolescents are confident speakers in their language or culture is they often different of adult the for they hope be clueless of their friend. In fact, the concept that their language they use is a form of creativity that they must develop to activate statistician. 5. Society. Society is a group of living beings that are so closely intertwined because on certain system, certain traditions, convent and certain of are the same and lead the left. The system in society is interconnected between one human and another human which form a unity. 6. Method is A quality descriptor according is that the descriptive is a method that is based on fact and the revealer if quality result of relate to that is not the form of number put in from equality and variable space that data in the form of written spoke in the condition. Nap library and document C. Discussion. There have from lack of answer. Bahasa Indonesia. Bahasa remaja. Bahasa Indonesia. Bahasa remaja. Bang. Bahasa Indonesia. Bahasa remaja. Ngap. Bahasa Indonesia. Sebel banget loh. Bahasa remaja. SPL. Bahasa Indonesia. Domisili. Bahasa Indonesia. Dom. That's from linguistics other like in good of diacritic, namely the use like by a group with a certain period of time, but is undecrypted like in that you should and can have under for example that of a auto follow using that links the reason being that trend is considered as Joseph is spoken even the same as a language that becomes spoken a trend use but and give someone is actually liquid as the part in singing a person mean that has sang that automatically a person behavior a personality also sang. For example, someone who use in Indonesia live in Jogja and use Javanese grammar. Even when is angry with other, the parent he most of the grammar liquid and in grammar it is that to always to polite to the people is parent from saying to read. The consolation and suggested the liquid of has inverted change be Indonesian general not to communication using Indonesia probably of currently it a very footnote because liquid is identity of the country and the above I can be conclude that communication using the liquid of finger can profit but benefit. For example, we communication with people using the liquid finger they do not understand what the main communication will responding from this will either be considered emerald or do not have basic ethics. Therefore, we ask that must always communication good and correct language is news. Thank you very much. If there is error, please forgive. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.